of you guys might already know her. The ones that, sorry, I have kind of struggled with my camera tonight. Hello, everyone. My name is Naima. Welcome to the call. It's an honor and a pleasure for me to host the call tonight. Sanas Human is the president and chef designer. Sanas Human is an international businesswoman. She was born into a family of entrepreneurs at the tender age of 19. Sanas founded her own company, developing into a world of fashion. In 2002, quickly developed learning about MLM and entered her first MLM business in 2002 and quickly developed her business and entered distributor with over 2 decades of business experience. She eventually left the sales field and took a position in 2006 Opulence Global. Her success has been recognized in multiple publications, with the focus being on successful women. Sanas Human is the brain and the beauty behind our developing our products. So welcome everyone, and help me please welcome her. I also gonna go ahead and introduce our specialist, Carl. He's a Microsilver specialist. Carl graduated from the University of Waterloo with his BSAC in System and Engineering. He became the North American distributor and partner of BioGate AG in Germany. Carl is responsible for the business development in North America marketplace. So welcome to the call, Carl, and everyone, please help me welcome Carl to the call. David O, I'm not sure if he's already in the call, but I'm gonna go ahead and introduce David O. David is the regulatory affairs. David O is graduated from the University of Toronto with BSc degree in biology, chemistry, and physics. He continued his education, receiving his APMR in the pharmaceuticals. Over the past 8 years, he worked with a consultant to gain FDA 510K. He joined Opulence Global in 2017, recognizing the incredible value of Very Flawless as the world-class product that delivers on its promise of anti-aging. His enthusiasm continued with the Fountain of Life that is the most powerful antioxidant from nature. David's honored to be part of this incredible journey as Opulence Global changed the lives of people. Please, everyone, help me welcome all 3 of them. Thank you, guys, and please welcome to the call.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Recording. Okay, thank you so much for that, Naima. Hello, good evening, Carl. I'm just going to give it a couple of more minutes. We're right on the note, 8:01. I know a lot of people are still jumping onto the call messages. I know that in Asia, everyone's just waking up because it is 8 a.m. And so I want to say a welcome to everybody. And of course, we are going to be getting our call started shortly, but I do want to give everyone enough time. I am also going to be checking. In the meantime, Naima, I know you are probably busy with your kids. Naima is also a mom of 3 busy kids. Let's see which countries are in the house. And Carl, just the sound check. Are you hearing a little bit of an echo for me?
Hardly anything at all. It's fine for me. I mean,
Perfect.
It's fine.
Okay, I just want to make sure. And give me a second here. All right, let me know which countries. Here's David as well. So let me just promote David to our panelists. Give me 1 second here. All right, David, hello. Can you hear us okay?
Hi, Shanaz.
Hello.
Hi, David.
I think he's just re-logging in as a host, so as a panelist, and he'll turn on his video.
I think you can. There, I can hear you.
Hi, David. Can you just hear us?
Okay. Sorry, I just got cut off there.
Hello?
Carl, how are you?
Oh, good. Thanks. I thought I was cut off for a second. I see Sanaz is Sanaz is gonna, I was
well,
like,
here.
okay, good.
David, we just don't have your video yet.
Oh, okay. Oh, sorry.
And I just realized we don't have my video either.
No, that's why I was wondering.
Here we go.
Ah, hi, David. How are you?
Oh, we got everybody on.
Here's what I can do.
Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, good night, good morning, good afternoon. If you are brand new, we want to welcome you. Wow, it is 3 a.m. in Kenya. Thank you so much for your commitment and your dedication. You are a trooper, Pamela. I want to know which countries are in the house today. So let me know which countries do we got in the house. We got Yulia from Israel. We got Charlene from Dominica. We got Maria Baptiste from Toronto. Of course, our superstar Amarjeet from Singapore. And Rico, of course, our corporate trainer in Philippines is on. We got Victoria, BC on. We got Wendy from Grenada. We got Nancy from Scottsdale, UK, from America. Of course, we got United States, we got Phoenix, Arizona, we got Pamela from all the way from Kenya at 3 a.m. We got Canada in the house, we got Australia in the house, Ronan from Thailand, hello to all my brothers and sisters, amazing. Hello from Philippines, Emilda. We got Kendra in the house, good evening everyone. All right, I see many of you are jumping on. And we also got, Las Vegas, Nevada. I want to be in Las Vegas right now with all this COVID lockdown. So you know what, go build a business there, Joshua, so we can go and do some great stuff over there and travel and build an empire in Las Vegas. We got John Wilson from New York, member of Maria Baptiste team. Amazing, welcome, welcome, welcome. We got so many amazing people on. Hello, Maria Baptiste, another one of our powerful superstars. Pleasant good evening, Sanaz and everyone from Toronto. Yes, let's do it. We're ready. Bring it on. And of course, we got Leah from Toronto, Jonathan from Nigeria, 1 a.m. Oh my goodness, I love this. You know, that reminds me of me when I was in the field. I was actually very committed myself. And, you know, when I saw someone as a special guest do a call, guess what I did? I jumped on. And you know what, I was always there to be able to learn and get inspired and be able to educate my team because, you know, we always say knowledge is power. And, you know, we got so many dedicated partners from around the globe. And I'm so excited to have all of you guys here. We're going to give it one more minute and then I want to welcome everyone. So we got Stella from UK, of course, 1 a.m. Stella, girl, you never ever miss a call. And I love it as well. Miriam, welcome, Sanaz, looking forward to the call, of course. Carolina from Toronto and Maria Baptiste's team. You go, Maria Baptiste's team is rocking tonight. I have some guests as well, so we want to welcome any of you that are guests tonight. And maybe you have been introduced to this call to get on tonight. You already heard from Naima a little bit about who we are and you know, who the folks are that are talking to you tonight. But really, we're really excited about who Opulence Global is and what we represent and what we're doing around the globe. You know, this incredible company and business is growing in over 200 countries and territories. We have been really excited about our incredible product lines that are really changing the world. Our products have expanded so rapidly. And really, you know, giving people their youth back, giving their skin back, giving their health back. And there's just so many attributes that we're going to cover with you guys tonight. So feel free to take notes. Feel free to ask us questions. We do, of course, have basically a Q&A section at the bottom of your screen. If you take a look at it, it says Q&A. If you have a question there, write it in. I will, of course, ask our panelist team as well. I have a bunch of questions. We also have some slides we're going to share with you. So we are super excited about, you know, what we're going to be doing with all of you and the direction. And really, you know, I want to just say one more time, a good evening to Carl and a good evening to David. David, it's good to see you every single week. And Carl, it's always a pleasure to have you on our special call. So welcome.
Thank you very much. I'm glad to be part of your call tonight and looking forward to the evening. Thank you, Sanaz. Indeed,
absolutely. We look forward to it as well. Carl, I just realized that you and I have the exact same filing cabinet and the exact same desk.
Okay.
That's just so interesting. I have it right in the corner there. We have the exact same color as well.
Okay.
So great
Yeah.
minds think alike.
Yeah.
So, that's too funny. All right, so tonight gentlemen, we are gonna focus on a lot of the microsilver technology. Microsilver, to give everyone a little bit of background of how sort of it came to be, when we came to develop our amazing revolutionary anti-aging skincare, our formulator, Tom, basically knew Carl, had used his microsilver against another product, and we gave him a blank check and said, hey, listen, go out there, create the best product possible. So he went around the world. He literally, picked and choose the best ingredients that are out in the market and created an absolutely phenomenal skincare regimen that, of course, our night serum literally has the microsilver technology. And that's one of our active ingredients that we have been basically promoting and selling, and it has done extremely well. But because the night serum did so well, we decided to add on many other products, which we're going to talk about tonight as well. And we're going to show you the direction and the future of what Opulence holds when it comes to its product development, when it comes to our formulation. I may have a little surprise for you guys. So when it comes to microsilver, it's become very much a go-to product for us to use simply because of the technology. But tonight it's not about that. I'm going to give the floor to Carl. Carl, I want to take our viewers tonight. There's a lot of new people. There's existing people. Some of you have had the pleasure of meeting Carl. He is just a wealth of knowledge. I remember the first time I met Carl, I said to him, are you a scientist? Because he used all these big words and he knew his stuff inside out. And he was like a textbook, like David. And he's just been doing this for a long time. First, can I ask you, how long have you been working with the microsilver technology, Carl?
Since 2009.
2009.
So, couple years.
Yeah, just a couple of years, right? And so, I'm really excited about the microsilver technology. First of all, because we are one of the only direct sales companies in the North America Caribbean market that's really distributing and have sort of the vision to be able to create incredible products. But microsilver is not always cheap. It's a pretty expensive product and a raw material, but totally worth it. And we're really, really excited. If you can give us a little bit of an introduction, I'm going to pull up some slides for you in just a minute so we can go over some slides. But tell us a little bit of introduction to history, what you've seen the microsilver technology do until I pull up those slides, Carl. Thank you.
Sure. Yeah, no problem. I mean, the microsilver itself, I don't know how many people know this, but it's manufactured in Germany by Biogate. And they spent almost 10 years in development of the technology and the actual manufacturing process, which is very unique to creating our silver. There are other silvers out there. Most of them are colloidal or nano silver. Ours is very unique. And it took over 10 years to develop at one of the largest applied research organizations in all of Europe. And from that point, it was started to go into cosmetics already in 2006, 2007, but primarily in Europe because that's where the company was based in Germany. So it started from there and started slow, but now it's going very well. And there are a lot of cosmetic companies, and we're in everything from skincare to high-end cosmetics to personal care products, but also in medical devices such as wound care products, foams, wound dressings, root canal filling materials. So a lot of medical applications. So it's really a phenomenal technology that has been tested as far as medical devices go, but has also achieved market acceptance as a very unique high-end technology used by great companies just like my Opulence. Oh, I think you're on mute, Sanaz.
Amazing. I was trying to speak and I'm like, I'm muted, and I was pressing the wrong buttons. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Yeah, Carl, I think what's really important is exactly what you talked about, the technology behind it. And, technology has just come such a long way. Consumers are just a lot more also educated when it comes to product lines. And what they use daily is also very, very important. So what I want to talk to our viewers with tonight is, let me just pull up this slide. I just had it right here and I just displayed it, is the fact that we're using a medical grade silver. So it's not just used in the cosmetic world, Carl. It's also used in so much more than just the cosmetic industry. And that's something that I really loved about what we sort of shared when it came to the technology. So one of the big things I was actually doing, actually a training today. And the training that we basically talked about, we were talking relentlessly about the fact that this is a microsilver that is a medical grade. So it's nano free, it's colloidal free. And a lot of our viewers may not understand some of those things and what they mean. So I want to take them through it. I'm just going to pull up these slides at this point and pass it over to you. Here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, I highly recommend what we got Carl on and that you do take some notes. In the meantime, let me just introduce, of course, our Microsilver Edition technology. For those of you that may or may not know, we of course have our existing Fairy Flawless skincare regimen as part of our Fairy Flawless lineup. It is a phenomenal skincare. We're going to talk about that. We introduced afterwards an amazing, amazing toothpaste. We'll talk about that. We of course have our Microsilver spray, which is phenomenal. We're going to talk about that. And next to come is our Fairy Sterling, which is an amazing, amazing, amazing Microsilver technology skincare for your body, for your hands, which we're going to talk about that as well. So here we go. Go ahead, Carl.
Okay. Yeah, well, thank you very much. So Sanaz, one of the first things you mentioned, of course, was the fact that it's medical grade silver. And that's very unique because a lot of people just use standard or silver, nothing special about it, but we basically use highly refined medical grade pure silver. And what we do then is we use a wholly physical production process whereby we create these highly porous and micro-sized particles of pure silver using a plasma arc in a vacuum chamber. And the process to create these highly porous micro-sized particles took over 10 years to develop, and we have over 90 patents on the technology. And what sets us apart is not only that we're using pure medical grade silver and the fact that we're doing it in a wholly physical production process. The key thing too is that we use absolutely no other chemicals. So the whole process involves a changing of the medical grade silver into this highly porous particles, but there are no other ingredients. So there's no chemistry involved. It's just pure silver in and pure silver out. And that's why when we start off with medical grade silver, we also end up with medical grade microsilver. So it's highly pure and we have no trace elements of negative metals in there. So if you want to think about it, you can think about it this way. Some women can wear 14 karat gold, some can wear 18, some can wear 24. Everybody wants to wear at least 22 karat gold. But the fact of the reason is why people can't wear 14 karat gold, or why some women can't, is because they have an allergic reaction. And it's not the gold itself. Gold, just like silver, is highly noble and very biocompatible. The problem with cheaper products is that they have other trace elements of inferior metals that can cause allergic reactions, skin reactions. And that's why our technology is so unique, because it is 99.99% pure. And since it's so pure and a medical grade, we're allowed to use this inside of the body. So we can actually put our microsilver in a root canal filling material. It's 510K FDA approved since 2005. We're in bone cement. We're actually in 12 wound care products that are at the highest level. It's medical device class 3 CE approved products for severe decubitus ulcers, for burn victims and so on. So it's really the highest purity of silver that you can get. So in addition to that, we also create this very porous, fluffy, sponge-like particle. And that's what's unique too. So if you look at that image on the top left of the screen, you can see that it has this sponge-like structure, and that's just a close-up of a portion of one particle. That particle would cover the entire wall that you're looking at in your room right now. But what that does is that achieves a huge surface area. It's just like having a whole bunch of marbles. A whole bunch of marbles will have a lot more surface area than 2 or 3 big oranges. And by having a huge surface area, we can efficiently generate the silver ions and put it in a product at the right use level that's going to achieve all the benefits you want. But at the same time, because the particle is so large, it's micro size, it's 1,000 times larger than a nanometer, it will stay on top of your skin. It won't penetrate your skin. It'll fight against the unwanted germs and not harm the good germs, which reside slightly deeper in your skin. So that's key. So number one, there are other silvers out there, nano silvers or colloidal silvers, basically the same thing. The majority of those have, first of all, they're created by chemical processes. They have trace elements of other negative metals in there, and they're so small that they will not effectively get rid of the bacteria on top of your skin, which you're trying to get rid of. They'll actually go into your skin, have minimal effect against the good, against the bacteria that you're trying to get rid of, but they'll actually get into your body and have a negative effect on some of your good microbiome. And that's one of the reasons why we're extensively used in skincare and wound care type of applications. And we're also the only silver in the world that has all of these natural certifications. So there's no other silver that has EcoCert certification, Cosmos, Natural Products Association, BDIH, and Natru. So we have all the certifications so that this product can be used in natural skincare cosmetics. And every batch is tested. We verify that there's no nanomaterials in there, and we have all of these listed approvals and certifications. So that's really what sets our silver apart from any other silver that you might be familiar with.
I love it. You know, I've heard you talk about this, and every time I sit there listening to it, I'm just mesmerized by all the amazing things, you know, our microsilver has to offer. But the history of it is also quite vast. So let's go through it. We got lots to cover tonight.
Sure, no problem. Yeah, the history is also exceptionally interesting and phenomenal. I mean, silver used to be the standard antimicrobial that was used already since the ancient times. Even the Persian Empire, Cyrus the Great, used to use silver in water casks to help prolong the water, to keep it fresher for a longer period of time and help prevent any waterborne illnesses from growing in the water. And it's been used in the Persian Empire. The Romans have used it, the Greeks have used it. Even in the Wild West, pioneers used to put a silver coin into milk to help keep the milk lasting a little bit longer. I mean, back then they didn't all have refrigerators like what we have now. So whatever you could do to prolong the longevity of the milk, of course, was beneficial. And even in World War I, some of the French soldiers who were at the Serbian front, they also had water canteens that were lined with silver. And again, this was primarily to make sure that the water would last as long as possible and there would be no waterborne illnesses and dysentery that the soldiers would suffer from. So really, silver has been the key antimicrobial that has been used all the way up until the invention of penicillin. And penicillin was invented in the 30s, and it's antibiotics. And basically from about the 30s to I would say the 90s, the antibiotics were great. They were super cheap and easy to produce, but that started to lead to different problems. We're well aware of it now today that antibiotics have one mode of action and we're generating all of these resistant bacteria. So we have problems in our hospitals with MRSA, MRSE, all of these problems that are killing more people today than people who die from cancer and automobile accidents combined. There's over 90,000 people that die in the United States from what's called nosocomial infections, or basically infections that you get by going to the hospital that is totally unrelated from the original reason why you went to the hospital. You just happen to pick up a highly resistant bug. So with all of these issues, there's a huge trend, especially in the medical field, back towards silver. And that's because silver has multiple modes of action and it is highly broad spectrum. So it kills the vast number of bacteria, kills germs, viruses, and bacteria, but it has multiple modes of action. And for this reason, the bacteria cannot build a resistance to silver. And some interesting photos up there as well. Even in the early 1900s, if you would have an injury to your skull because of either a farming accident or a war accident or an industrial accident, you would basically have a skull plate made out of pure silver. And the brain is one of the areas in your body that is most susceptible to toxicity. But by using pure silver, refined pure silver, there was no issue. So it just goes to show how biocompatible good silver is with the body. And these people lived full lives. Of course, today you have different plastics, things that are lighter, things that won't maybe set off metal detectors in an airport. But that used to be the norm in the 1900s. And also eye drops. So there's a lot of problems with during childbirth where they can contract a disease, which can actually lead to blindness. So for a very long time and still today, silver nitride eye drops are used to help prevent blindness in children.
Amazing, amazing. Are you guys like loving this information? How powerful is this? This is your product that you get to distribute. This is your product that you are going to be able to share with your customers. And if you guys are customers here listening in, this is why we are so excited at Opulence Global. I don't want to take it away, Carl. We got lots to cover. I'll give the floor back to you.
No problem. Thank you, Sanaz. Yeah, so this is just a summary. I mean, broad spectrum antimicrobial activity, but what is probably lesser known is that our microsilver is also antiviral effective and it's anti-inflammatory. So for example, a lot of skin related issues are due to inflammation. And if you can control the inflammation, you can improve the healthiness of the skin. You can promote the skin's natural ability to heal itself. And you can basically help in the progression of creating healthy, long-lasting, good skin. And the microsilver has all these attributes, and then what sets it apart from other silvers as well is that it's microbiome friendly. And why is it microbiome friendly? The key reason is because it has this huge particle that sits on top of the skin, will not penetrate, and will not harm your good bacteria. What's also very interesting and very unique to our particle is that as opposed to having just small little balls, and spheres and so on that might go into the skin and then be readily lost when you sweat. So as you're sweating, let's say a nano or colloidal silver will be readily lost because it's water soluble. We have this porous structure. It's almost, you can almost think of it like Velcro. It's like it clings to the skin because of this porous structure. It helps it to physically remain on the skin or also on hair follicles. And that allows us to achieve long-lasting attributes on top of the skin. So we can actually see benefits from the microsilver 2-4 hours later beyond the time of almost any other ingredient, because most ingredients are absorbed into the skin, they have some effect, and that's it. But we have this long-lasting ability to continuously generate silver ions, which is killing the bacteria, from the reservoir of pure silver that is retained and sitting on top of your skin. And the other nice thing is that it works synergistically with other ingredients. So Tom, in creating the awesome formulations that he created for Fairy, flawless skincare products, incorporated other ingredients that are also natural, that also have excellent beneficial attributes to improving skincare, and to combine with the microsilver, we have this overall product that has synergistic effects and is absolutely fabulous for your skin.
Amazing, love it. This is actually the products that we're kind of talking a little bit about. These are two of our, very popular sellers in the company, Carl.
Yes, so here we have our Quad AG Night Serum. that product is great, because if you think about it, the silver, like I just mentioned, has the ability to stay physically on top of your skin for a very long period of time. So at night, if you go wash your face, you remove your makeup, you remove some of the oils and pollutants that you might have had throughout the day, you cleanse your skin. Now you put on the microsilver and it stays on your skin and you don't wash it off. It has the entire night to physically help generate the silver ions and improve blemishes, help reduce inflammation of the skin. And then in the morning, you're refreshed and you're ready to apply your makeup and after your shower and everything else. So it's excellent in a night formulation product like the night serum. Of course, the other thing is toothpaste. There's countless people who suffer from cavities or bleeding of the gums, gingivitis, and so on. And what the microsilver does with this porous structure is it actually can be retained in the gums. And when you brush it in, it'll stay there and it'll have some substantivity. So it'll actually last longer in the gums than other toothpastes will. And it will be able to have that effect over a prolonged period of time. So again, even if you would have something like a bleeding gums in one area, after you're brushing your teeth and you rinse your mouth, you might want to even consider applying a little bit almost as a cream on that spot on your gum line. And it'll act to help, again, improve the condition of bleeding gums.
Amazing. And David, we also, of course, talk a lot about our toothpaste being fluoride free, which is, again, another huge selling feature of our product line as well. I'm going to just skip the slide here. But that's another big thing as well that we've talked about over time, which is the fact that our toothpaste is also fluoride free. And let's talk a little bit about that.
Well, I think that's one of the, thoughts that we, when we started exploring toothpaste, we wanted to see how we can eliminate, some of the potential hazards that we see out there. Fluoride is that, fluoride is a potential issue. And, they started talking, we started diving into this, we started simply by just looking at our toothpaste, and we discovered that right on there's a fluoride warning saying that if you should swallow it, you're supposed to contact your poison control center. But we started doing a deeper dive into that, and it's sort of funny that number of healthcare professionals, dentists, would say, well, no one's ever been, who's ever swallowed toothpaste, no one's ever arrived at, had to go out of the hospital. And well, that's not true whatsoever. We started doing a statistical analysis about that and found out every year over 10,000 Americans end up in the hospital because they swallow toothpaste. So that does happen. It's not, of course, it doesn't make the news, but it certainly is happening. And in fact, the funny part is once they put this warning on the toothpaste tube, the numbers started to increase and continues to increase. So they're not sure why. But regardless, our objective was to eliminate fluoride. And when we wanted to eliminate fluoride from the mix, because fluoride causes, there's so many potential health issues, including neurological development in children. It's shown that children exposed to fluoride have lower IQs, and that's been consistent. And so as a company, we wanted to see if we're going to do this, how are we going to create a product that's effective? After all, there's nothing like putting a toothpaste on the market that does nothing. There's a lot of natural toothpaste out there. They're very nice, but they don't do what they're supposed to do, and that's lower the incidence of dental caries and periodontitis. When we started investigating microsilver through the research of people like Carl's company, we discovered that microsilver was used and tested over at the Erlangen Clinic over in Europe. And when they did that, they discovered that periodontitis actually lowered, halitosis lowered, all these areas, calculus buildup lowered. And as a result, they found out that microsilver is very effective product. And why is it effective? Because when we're eliminating fluoride, fluoride is used to harden the teeth. They want it to harden the teeth because the bacteria excretes acid that causes tooth decay. Instead, microsilver is impacting the actual bacteria itself. So it's eliminating the bacteria that will otherwise cause dental decay, and it's very effective. It's long lasting, as Carl talked about just recently, that it's able to, basically hook into different tissue. Well, it's able to really collect in the mouth, creating a silver depot, and it's released over time through moisture and through ionization. It eliminates the bacteria, and that's why people will report that their breath smells fresher than ever. That's just proof that it's working. Uh, but the bottom line is that it does reduce, periodontitis and calculus buildup as a result. So it's a very effective product, and it has proven to replace fluoride effectively. And there's been a lot of dental professionals who have commented on this with their patients. So I think we have a product that really does, deliver on the promise of, safer health, but at the same time, deliver on the fact that it's an effective toothpaste and reducing the amount of tooth decay that might otherwise occur.
Amazing. So I do actually have a comment. After I brush my teeth, I don't actually rinse or wash. I only spit in order to leave as the silver on my gums overnight when I'm sleeping. I'm extremely happy with the results, more than before when I was when I was actually rinsing my mouth out. Is my action okay, or should I recommend it to others? Carl?
Yeah, I think that's fine. I mean, you want to make sure that, when you are brushing your teeth, you're dislodging particles of food. So it's important to rinse those out, not that those are retained in the mouth. But I know that people do, let's say you do brush your teeth, some people will still rinse out and then just put a little bit more on a clean toothbrush, and then just brush it on. So I think that's fine. I don't think, you want to put a whole tube on there, but a little bit to leave on the gum line would be perfectly fine.
Yeah, and I'm not an expert. That's why we have our expert panel here tonight as well. And I think if you have any bacteria, by spitting it out or rinsing your mouth, I think it just gets rid of any of the bacteria. And like you said, Carl, by just applying a little bit and just leaving it on the gums or on the teeth as well, it will definitely just kind of settle, and it will just be a fresh batch, and it would have already washed out the bacteria. Does that kind of make sense?
Yes, that makes sense. That's perfectly
amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll pass it over to you. I absolutely love this slide because it goes into one of our newest products that we've recently released, but it just gives the background and the technology. This is, the sanitizers are not things that we cover, but I mean, this is how it all kind of started when you approached me.
Sure, yeah. No. So we started, of course, with COVID-19. There was a great endeavor to immediately show antiviral activity. We knew it already had antiviral activity, but we wanted to prove that with some products that would be applicable for helping out people around the world in these current times. So we created a couple of different products. It was a hand gel, or basically a hand sanitizer, with microsilver and alcohol. And then, of course, we also created the surface spray and the mask spray, which just has the microsilver in there. I'll go into that a little bit further, but these were the 4 products, including a shampoo, that we also created with the microsilver. And the whole idea, of course, is that we tested this in the lab in Germany at a certified antiviral testing laboratory. We tested against the MVA, which is basically a surrogate virus for the SARS-CoV-2 virus. That's basically the test virus that was immediately used in Europe because they didn't want to use, of course, the COVID virus right away for some of this testing. It was hard to get and people were concerned about it. But this was the closest virus to test and was accepted as the virus across Europe for validating the efficacy of products. And this just shows a little bit about what the testing protocol was. We use 80% of the liquid to be tested, some details in there. But if I think do we have the data on the next slide? Yes, here we go. So this was what the key aspect is. We're able to show that, let's say the hand sanitizers, they have the immediate effect, 30 seconds and 2 minutes as well. But what's unique is that we also have a long lasting effect. So if you look at a hand gel, which is alcohol based, or even standard disinfectants that you find in your home, most of them are all alcohol based or chlorine based, and after a couple minutes they have no longer lasting efficacy. They basically evaporate and then you're done. But we can show that the silver is still maintained on the surface of either, let's say, a textile or the surface of a kitchen sink, or you know, any other surface. As long as you physically do not remove it, it is still maintained there, and it can have some prolonged activity. And what was also unique is that when we tested this surface spray, which was the key product of interest for Sanaz, is that we could show that in 2 minutes, with no alcohol whatsoever, with just a pure water-based spray, we can kill up to 94% of the bacteria in 2 minutes, and in 30 minutes up to 99.9%. And the reason we created this product is that because you want to have an effective spray, but you also want it to be safe. You want to be able to spray not only the outside of your mask, but also the inside of your mask. You can even put it right up to your mouth, and there's no alcohol. There's no harsh chemicals whatsoever in this spray, so it can be used safely on stuff like face masks, or let's say bedding, or in your car for if you have a dog, or baby bedding and so on. So it is very safe and still very effective, and that's why we created this spray.
You know, Carl, the microsilver spray has just become an absolutely revolutionary addition to our brand. And I mean, a lot of the terminology, COVID terminology, we obviously can't use that in Canada. But I know from the testing that was done in Germany, they actually say it does kill COVID on contact. Many of the, I think, airports are also using it, from what you understood, what you explained to me. And I want to go back a little bit to the history. Again, this was not like, you know, a formulation that kind of happened overnight. Already, this sort of technology was being used in a lot of equipment that was basically reusable equipment that was shared in public places, like hockey gear, like helmets, like gloves. Let's talk a little bit about that, because I think it's really important for our partners to understand that when creating this, it wasn't like, oh, let's just create something for COVID. It was a product that was basically multiplied, or I should say amplified, to become what it is today that we sell as our microsilver spray.
Yeah, that's correct. No, we had already launched this spray, a slightly different version of the spray. It was already in the market for many years with a couple key areas, actually. One of them is with Uvex, and Uvex is a manufacturer of protective equipment, primarily for the hospital environment. So if you would have seen all of the footage from the news of Ebola, for example, in Africa, a lot of the news footage, if you're paying close enough attention, you'll see the name Uvex, UVEX, on some of the visors, on some of the full gowns. So that was one of the first companies that used our microsilver material in protective equipment. They also had a number of very high-end masks that were reused for several weeks at a time at job sites with special filtration for high particles in industrial applications. And the problem is that they would have a building up of odor, they would have a building up of bacteria. And if for whatever reason you would pass that, you would switch a mask with one of your colleagues, you might get a cold. So Uvex was an early adopter of our technology already in, I believe it was around 2015, 2014. After that, we were also using the product with another company that was focusing on high-end bike helmets and then other athletic apparel. So it's been around for a while, and the technology is more than just the microsilver. The microsilver is there to help kill the bacteria and help prevent the odor, but we've also combined another anti-odor binding technology into the product that helps to immediately bind unwanted odors. So if you would use this, for example, in a face mask today, it would help to keep the mask maintained fresher for a longer period of time, especially if you might have had something to eat that's maybe spicy or maybe doesn't smell quite so nice. You could spray your mask and help protect your mask from the odors as well.
And Carl, I do want to reiterate, this is the product that we're talking about. I think there's people are like, oh, which product is this? Because it is a fairly new product. So all of this technology that we're talking about, all of this testing that we're talking about that's in Europe, it's actually in our Microsilver spray. Okay, so I want to just reiterate that a little bit more because these are the big attributes of this incredible product.
That's correct. So this is the exact same spray formulation that we were testing in Europe, where we could show that it's antibacterial, immediately antibacterial, and also antiviral. And this spray in itself has now been adopted in mass transport. And I don't want to get ahead of myself. Do you have a slide on that, Sanaz? Should I hold off on the mass transport?
No, we actually, this is it. So
this is it. Okay. So on the mass transport, so for example, this spray is now being used in Germany.
Oh, my apologies. My apologies. Yes. Let me bring that slide. I misunderstood you. Hold on one second. So we're talking
I can go over this if you want first. If you want to keep this order, I can just talk about this.
No. I just got in the message box. You know, people were asking me, what is the spray that Carl is talking about? Well, obviously we sell the spray, but we're very careful with the terminology that's used. But since you're the expert and I wanted to talk about some of the field study, so yes, take it away.
Okay, sure. No, we started off with the field study in Nuremberg, which is in Germany. Whereby we were working with VAG, which is in charge of the transportation for buses, subways, streetcars in the Nuremberg and surrounding area. And we did a field trial, and we could show that when we sprayed the microsilver onto different areas of the bus, including textiles, including the handrails and other areas, that we had a tremendous improvement in the reduction of bacteria, and particularly in the textiles. And this is important because most sprays, disinfectant sprays that you can buy at a store, are geared towards hard surfaces, but specifically say not ideal for porous surfaces. They're not really fabric sprays. There are some anti-odor sprays that are out there and so on, but antimicrobial sprays for fabrics are very few, and they're not very effective. But here we could show that after spraying it, we had an immediate reduction, a huge reduction on the first day. And then what happened is that these buses went into circulation, and they were in circulation for another 3 days. And even tested after that with no further application of the spray, we still had a huge reduction in the germs in comparison to what was originally there. And even another 4 days later, we still had a huge reduction in the amount of bacteria that was on the surfaces. And prior to that, they were disinfecting the buses on a regular basis, and nothing seemed to be really working. So we basically showed that it has an immediate efficacy, but it also has that prolonged efficacy. It is retained in the fibers of the textile. The porous particle gets embedded in the fibers, and it can reside there and generate antimicrobial silver ions and have the antibacterial, antiviral effect over a prolonged period of time. So this helped. This, of course, was of huge interest to the authorities because it allowed them to use less harmful chemicals in the environment. It allowed them to also drastically cut down the amount of times that they had to disinfect the bus. So there were cost savings in the chemistry, and there were cost savings also in the treatment or the service of cleaning the buses. And overall, the most important thing is that it's much more effective. If you have a spray that is based on alcohol, you will kill germs. It will work. But within an hour or two, you'll have more germs. And that's the key thing. People would be disinfecting 3-4 times a day, and they still would not be as effective as having this microsilver. We had an immediate high kill effect, but we still maintained an up to 90% reduction in germs over 1 week and even 2 weeks of time.
You know, this just absolutely amazes me, because one of the most important things that I learned about the microsilver technology and the microsilver spray, Carl, is that when it's sprayed on, it pretty much clings. Sorry, I'm going to go back one slide because I also want to talk about this. This is sort of what you were talking about, the bacteria and really the results, the fact that they're long lasting. You see, sanitizers were meant for people to use when they were originally created. Again, sanitizers weren't created yesterday either. Sanitizers were created that in case of an emergency, if you don't have access to water or soap and you want to be able to sanitize, you do that. What's really amazing is that alcohol at high levels and its high usage is not very good also for your skin, and that's where dermatitis and all those kind of fun things happen. This is the reason that I love the microsilver technology, because it also works as an antibacterial agent. So I'll let you take us through this.
Sure. Yeah. So of course, we know that it has an immediate efficacy, 99.9% in a couple of minutes. But what's interesting is that even once we sprayed a textile like a mask and we just let it sit there for 2 weeks, we didn't do anything to it. Then we tested it against the bacteria, and we could show that even 2 weeks after we applied it, we still had over 99% reduction of bacteria. And that is because the silver is maintained there. And from a pure silver like the microsilver, you got to think about microsilver as being a mini production factory. It's the silver ions that kill the bacteria. Many products just have some amount of silver ions, and once they're used up, they're gone. But we have pure microsilver, which is continuously generating silver ions. And from a given amount of pure silver, you can generate a phenomenal amount of silver ions. And that's why we go into really long-lasting applications. I mean, another practical example, Sanaz, is that we have a 2-component polyurethane coating in Airbus and Boeing passenger planes. And we have now already over 14 years of real-time efficacy, showing that even 14 years after application, it is still effective. There's still year over year testing these sample plates that are in the planes to see how long it is actually lasting, whereas a typical antibacterial paint will last about 6 months. Maybe if you're lucky, you get 3/4 of a year. So it's that whole ability to continuously generate the silver ions from the reservoir. And that's what we have in the antibacterial effect. Of course, in the antiviral, it's a similar kind of story. We can reduce the viruses very quickly, 94% in 2 minutes, and over 99.9% in 30 minutes. We probably would have hit the 99.9% even sooner. But again, it's the whole idea of this immediate effect combined with the persistent effect that sets us apart and gives you a truly unique product that honestly is not available worldwide. So this is what sets apart your product from other sprays, from other mask sprays, from other even hand care creams. The ability to have this long-lasting effect is critical in the efficacy of our products.
I'm so excited about that, Carl. You know, this product has just come such a long way. Ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't tried our Fairy Microsilver Protection Spray, please get it. It is so great. You know, Carl, David, we say, you know, this is ideal for masks. But, you know, I can just imagine when borders open up and people start traveling. I know for myself, I would spray down my seat. There's just so much bacteria on planes. I would spray down the seat. If I was to go to use the bathroom in basically the plane, I would spray down the bathroom because 2 minutes, you know, it's just fast acting. I think I would do one of these, you know, I call it the Italian shower, which and just spray myself down and just kind of almost create this invisible microsilver shield around myself. So a couple of different questions do come up.
That's a good point.
Yeah, go ahead.
I can just interrupt you for 1 second,
Sure.
Especially when travel does open up. Again, you might get a towelette on an airplane to wipe down your armrests, to wipe down your tray where you're eating, but those are totally ineffective on seats. And seats are rarely ever cleaned and they're used continuously. There's no way they're cleaning them between flights. And that's when we did the study on the buses, the seats were about 40 times more dirty and contaminated than any other surface. So the spray on your seats would be perfect. Definitely a good area. Sorry to interrupt.
No, that's great feedback, because, you know, I believe from the testing that you had showed me, I never even thought about how much bacteria was living on seats when it comes to public transport. I mean, there's Uber seats, you know, when you get into Uber cars, I mean, you don't want to piss somebody off by spraying down their car, but it's like, let me get into your car. But you want to make sure that you have it handy with you everywhere you go.
Yeah.
Carl, do you want to add something?
Yeah, I think you can spray down that car in the Uber, because you can just tell them, and it's an antimicrobial spray, but it's totally natural, it's totally safe, and it has no odor. So even if you have issues where you're very sensitive, this has no odor. It's actually going to reduce odor. So you can say, I'm going to make your car smell nicer, and I'm doing this for you for free. So you're protecting.
So
yourself.
the question, I guess, that comes up, they're asking that airlines don't allow for you to travel for more than 30 mils. But I believe that when we looked at this, based on this, we could, right?
That's right. It's 3 fluid ounces in the US, which is 100 milliliters. So that's why this is 98 milliliters. It's just, I'm sorry?
It has always been 100 mils.
It's always been 100 mil. Yeah, it's never been less than 100 mil. It's always been 3 fluid ounces or 100 mil. So just to be safe, we went to 98 mil. So this is totally travel friendly on airplanes, at least in Europe and North America. I suspect it's the same around the world.
Yeah, it is, because whenever I travel and if I'm just going with a carry-on, I transport the same thing. So the reason I wanted you to answer that is exactly what you said. When we were formulating and we were creating and we wanted to put it into bottling, we of course wanted to make this big ginormous size for all of you guys to have at home, because we knew you were going to spray down everything, you know, when it comes to any fabrics, any sofas, your shoes, your mats, dog beds, cat beds, you know, all the different stands. What's really, really important was we wanted to make sure that it was friendly. So that's why we did make it 98 mils. So you can just put it in your pocket, put it in your purse, and make sure that you have it handy to just be able to spray it. The other thing as well, Carl, you know, we know that there's no alcohol in here. Let's talk a little bit about the proper storage when it comes to temperature, because of course, many people, we know that microsilver is very heavy. It is microsilver. So with a liquid like this, it does settle, and the water and the microsilver will separate. That's why we write everywhere, shake well, shake well, shake well, because the microsilver is a heavy component and it does settle to the bottom of it. That's why you got to give it a good shake. But talk to me about how to temperature control it, and what is the best temperature to keep it at?
Yeah, sure. I mean, room temperature is ideal. Of course, it's like any drink, right? If you put water in the freezer, it's going to freeze. You can unfreeze it, you can thaw it, it'll be fine. But of course, it makes no sense in putting it in the freezer because you could also damage components of the spray actuator, right? As water expands, it's just like when you put a can in the fridge, it can explode. So you don't want to do that with your spray. Also, you don't want it in excessive heat. You know, it'll start, you'll have some evaporation and so on. In general, you're just trying to keep it at room temperature. So I would say anywhere, you know, between 5 degrees Celsius or something like that, up to about 30 would be ideal. If it's in your car and it gets hot for a period of time, okay, that's fine. You know, it's nothing's going to happen. It's not going to explode. There is no alcohol in there. But the shaking is definitely something you want to do. You know, we were playing around with the formulation, trying to get the perfect misting spray to come out of there, and we could thicken it up so that it wouldn't settle, but then we didn't have the nice coverage that we want to achieve. So for that reason, we chose to say, you know what, like many natural products, you just got to shake it and give it a good shake, turn it upside down, shake it a couple times, and then it's fine. Then you can spray it.
We say shake it, spray it, set it, and go.
there you go.
So
Perfect.
just remember, shake it, spray it, set it, and go. So you got to let it settle for, you know, a minute or two. What's really amazing that I love about this as well is the fact that you can spray it on your mask. Even if your mask is wet, you can actually you know, put it back on your face. There's no toxicity and it doesn't harm your skin. And Carl, the other thing as well that's really, really important, we're wearing masks obviously anytime indoors. A lot of offices are open now. It is mandated to be wearing masks indoors as well as per Canada regulations, especially Ontario law. So what's really, really important as well is that obviously the mask also was not created for us to be wearing it as much as we are wearing it. And a lot of people are getting a lot of bacteria, acne, breakout, hives that they're breaking out in their face. And it's just simply because there's just bacteria buildup. A lot of people are not washing their masks like they're supposed to. So again, they're getting a lot of that breakout. By also using this is getting rid of any contamination, any sort of bacteria, because it's got that longevity that also is going to cushion on your mask as well. So let's talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, that's exactly right. I mean, the whole idea is to get rid of the viruses and the bacteria on the inside as well as the outside of the mask. So we're always, you know, and we're always promoting, but when you're going out to the store, spray your mask inside or out, spray it once a day. When you're using it, I mean, you can even go a couple of days if you need to without spraying it, because it does have that long-lasting effect. If you do have a standard kind of textile mask and you wash the mask in the washing machine, because every now and then, you know, you might get a stain on it or lipstick or whatever. Of course, after washing it, you should definitely reapply. But in general, I would apply it once a day. And even if it's a little bit, you know, overkill, I just want to be safe myself. So, you know,
Sure.
later on, when maybe we're not in such a bad time, I would still use it, face masks, even when you're traveling. I think it's going to be a thing of the future. I mean, they do it in Asia for years and years to help prevent the transmission of colds and the flu. And I think we're going to see more and more people using it. So I think this is a product that's here to stay and will have tremendous benefits even after COVID subsides.
Absolutely. And you know, Carl, we are getting some questions, and maybe David, you can also respond to this. You know, our distributors and partners are very creative. You will give them one product and then they will use it in so many different ways. And so I want to reiterate that this was not created in any way as a hand sanitizer or deodorant or anything like that. You know, we create specific products, by the way. And I do want to reiterate this a little bit. We create products for you to be able to give you ingredients that are going to work in their own way. So for example, when we create a cream, the velocity of the cream, the texture of the cream is made so that you could be able to use it, you could be able to improvise with it and, you know, have some fun. But at the end of the day, for example, this is created fairly for masks. I mean, if you don't have a sanitizer close by you, you can put it on your hands, more fabrics than anything. We talked about airplanes, your Uber seats, your taxis, places of public, you know, in our office, by the way, we're not open to our distributors, but in every single bathroom and in the kitchen area, we do have a Microsilver spray just sitting there. We tell everyone to spray down handles. We make sure that everyone is spraying down microwave handles, fridge handles, bathroom handles, even though our faucets are all wireless, our soaps are wireless, our paper towels are wireless. Any sort of handle, we try for surfaces to be able to use that. So I want to just reiterate that a little bit as well. And team, stay patient. I want to cover as much stuff as possible. We're going to go a little bit over tonight, but let's talk a little bit about that. This is not meant as a deodorant. So I know some people have improvised and said it works for them. And then other people have said, no, it doesn't work for me but it was not made as a deodorant.
Yeah, no, it's not a deodorant. You know, it'll have some anti-odor effects. I mean, if you could use it on your children's shoes, on the inside of the shoes, I'm sure it will help. But like with all teenagers, you'll probably have to apply it more more often. But yeah, it's not a deodorant. It's meant for masks. In a bind, if you have nothing else, of course, you can spray it on your hands. You're not going to damage your hands. It's totally natural, and it's skin friendly. So by all means, if you need to spray it on your hands, yes. Is it going to replace a sanitizer? No, we're not claiming that it's going to replace a sanitizer. It's not like washing your hands with soap and water. So that's what you should be doing, right? You should be washing your hands with soap and water. But again, in a bind, I myself would use it, but that's not what this is targeted for. It's really targeted for your masks. It's targeted for textiles. It would be great on dog beds, for example. I mean, it's odor free. You know, all these, some people, they buy these nicely smelling air fresheners to freshen up their dog beds and so on. But you know, the dog smells like, I think it's, I don't know how many times more than we can smell. And it's just, you're just like torturing your poor little dog. So
Actually, we talk about dogs, Carl. I want to just interject there because I think what's really important, David, we talked about this before too. You know, a lot of moms are not educated that products like Lysol should not be sprayed on toys because Lysol has a lot of chemicals. And right. You know, they say antibacterial, but it is full of chemicals, and they're putting it on their kids' toys, they're putting it on their infants' toys, and those kids are taking those toys and shoving it in their mouth and just licking off all those chemicals that are on these products. Honestly, I would say spray it with this because at least this doesn't have any chemicals and alcohol in it, and it is so much better. And I agree with you on the dog bed thing because I'm one of those moms that doesn't like my dog to smell like a bounce sheet. And I have girlfriends that put those bounce sheets in their dog bed and they smell like they just came out of the dryer. And I'm like, your poor dog stinks like a bounce sheet. So use this, it gets rid of the odor, especially if you have big dogs. A lot of groomers are closed. There's no chemical element to even them as well. My dogs, a couple of times, Carl, when I would spray her bed, she would actually start licking it. And so I think it's really important to understand that this does not have that toxicity as opposed to spraying it with chemical sprays that are out in the market.
Yeah. I mean, by no means are you supposed to spray it in your mouth and use it for something like that. It's not to be used internally at all, but you're not going to die because you know you licked some of the spray. But of course, that's not the intention of this product. It's not, you know, to put in your mouth. But like you said, you know, a dog's not going to fall over just because it started to lick its paws or something with it. So that's totally fine.
Perfect.
Yeah.
All right, so we talked a lot about different elements. Question that does come up, does the Microsilver spray technology kill mold? I mean, kill is a very big word, but talk to me about
it can
mold.
help to reduce it a little bit, but it's not designed for that. So for that, we would probably have to increase the silver amount. You will see some benefits, but it's not going to get rid of mold. So if you do have mold, and I'm presuming this might be in a kitchen or in a bathroom where you have high humidity, once you see the mold, no matter what you do, no matter what product you apply, you really first need to wash the mold off of that area. You physically need to wash it with soap and water or some other chemistry to get rid of the mold, and then you can apply something to help protect it. So you could apply the spray after cleaning it, but if you have a big black patch of mold and you spray the silver spray in there, no, it's not going to eat through that. Mold is a higher life form than viruses or than bacteria. It's more complex and you'll need more to kill it. And the amount of microsilver in this spray is not sufficient to make it a anti-mold product.
David, did you want to add anything to that?
No, well, mold is very difficult to kill, you know, and you know, you do have to physically remove it, but there are mold-specific products out there, and they're very harsh. And remember that mold is insidious and it's dangerous, so always be careful and don't assume anything because those spores are not easy to get rid of. Microsilver will help, definitely, but again, to really eradicate mold, you need specific chemicals on that.
Yeah, if you ever are cleaning mold at home, wear a mask. Like
Yes.
David said.
Yeah, no, it's really dangerous. It's very dangerous. So never take it lightly, you know.
Yes.
And for mold remediation, don't assume you can spray anything on it and get rid of it. So
Yeah. Now I want to talk about something else that I experienced over the weekend. So I'm in the process of moving and being super crazy and having movers touch all my stuff. Everything is in boxes and bags and whatever. And you had to see me like a crazy woman in the garage. They were bringing in the boxes and I had microsilver spray in both hands, like I was spraying it on everything. And then they brought in one of the mattresses. The mattress was in bags, okay? Obviously everything was in bags, it was covered. Then they brought the mattresses inside. And when I unwrapped the bags, I went and washed my hands. I brought microsilver. I soaked the entire mattress with microsilver spray. And I thought, oh my God, I never even thought about this. But you know, when you start to use it and it becomes a part of your household, you start to really think about, there's a lot of fabrics that need to be disinfected. And there's a lot of fabrics. I mean, I have a bed for walnut and I'm like, hello, you know, if a bed for walnut, why not for me? And I've had my mattress for a couple of years. And since I'm moving, so, I mean, I soaked that baby with this microsilver spray and I thought, I don't think my house has ever been so clean and bacteria free and full of microsilver everywhere. So really team, when it comes to any surfaces, be creative, especially if it can cling onto it. Microsilver technology really does cling on as well. So, I mean, I can go on and on. We've gone a long way. I want to talk about this product and I want to share some updates with everyone. I know you guys have been waiting for this, so I want to share some exciting news with you guys. Carl, as you know, our batches of microsilver just arrived to Canada for this incredible product that we are creating. I know there's so much excitement in this. I think what's really important, ladies and gentlemen, this has been in the works for about a year. And the reason was originally when COVID happened, we wanted to give you a moisturizer for you to moisturize with all the sanitizers that were out in the market. And that was really dehydrating your skin and cutting your skin. And, you know, we also know that with COVID, everyone is using more sanitizers, okay? That's the reality. So we wanted to create a product that was going to neutralize all that dryness in your skin, so your hands, your feet. And so we loaded it. I mean, we loaded it with some proprietary ingredients. Carl, David, you guys can see, you know, everything from, of course, the microsilver technology. By the way, when you see AG, that means we have the microsilver AG in there. It's got the FOL extract, which is the Norwegian spruce tree extract. It's got the olive oil extract. It's got the argan oil extract. It is super long lasting protection. It protects against the free radicals. I mean, it cleanses microbes, paraben free, sulfate free. Gentlemen, talk to me about this product because this is about to hit the market, which I'm going to share a little bit today. But I'm super excited for this to come out because I know it's going to be a game changer in the industry.
Yeah, I think one of the important things, of course, is the overuse of hand sanitizers with high alcohol content, and even just washing with soap and water, which is, of course, better for your hands, but still that in itself can cause dry skin, can cause irritations, and is now leading to more and more issues with atopic dermatitis. So the idea of creating a hand moisturizer is, of course, perfect for this period of time. Of course, it's perfect for any time as well. But what's unique about this hand moisturizer is that it still has the microsilver in it. So if you have an alcohol sanitizer, you put the alcohol sanitizer in your hand, it's drying the heck out of your hands. It cleanses your hands, but it has no lasting effect. And then you might put some other hand cream on it, which has no effect. So here what you're doing is you're putting the hand cream on after, let's say, the use of a standard hand sanitizer, but it still has the microsilver in there. So it still is giving you some antimicrobial protection. It's not going to sanitize your hands, but it's giving you some prolonged antimicrobial protection. And it's perfect for today. It's moisturizing your hands and protecting you. So it's as a twofold effect. And of course, there's lots of other ingredients that are in here that are working synergistically with the microsilver. The argan oil and the olive oil extract will help with the moisturizing and then the hydrating effects. And I know that Norwegian spruce also helps to boost the overall antimicrobial efficacy of the overall product. So there's lots of great things in here. And I don't know, David, do you have a couple other things to add?
I think that, you know, you're going to discover a lot of things about this product, you know, and I think that it's going to be very valuable in terms of your overall good health. So many people have diabetes type 2. You're going to find that this will help, especially in the peripheral areas of the body. Talk about the feet, the legs, everything like that, that they should be using this. It'll give that extra protection as well as moisturizing those areas. You know, people with other compromised health issues, you know, Parkinson's, everything, they should be using a product like this. You want something that's going to moisturize. You want something that's going to protect. You know, the microsilver is the big star here, but it is also well supported with the Picea abies extract from Norwegian spruce. And it goes hand in hand. And you're going to find that your skin actually looks better with this combination of things. But the other thing is that the olive oil extract is it's very effective. You use other products, and I think that you're going to find that it has a great feel to it. And of course, being you know, so hydrating at the same time is going to be important for so many people, and they'll start using it in a lot of places, and they're going to find that this is you know, a go-to product for them in many ways. So yeah.
So we gave this product to some of our consumers to try because we were doing some of our test bottles, and I've already got some amazing feedback. So one of the customers reported back that he had actually got heat rash in between his legs, and if you got a little bit of extra, you know, cushion in between the legs, you kind of, the heat, they rub against each other and you get heat rash. Well, he had applied it, and guess what? After taking a shower on the clean skin, applied this phenomenal cream, and morning it was gone. Another customer reported back having a lot of cuts from basically not wearing socks and going out and going to the gym and going for a really, really long run. They ended up getting cuts at the bottom of their feet, and they were basically, I was almost to a point where it was cut and it was wounded and it was bleeding. So he basically applied it to the bottom of his feet as well after wash. And, you know, I think having that microsilver technology with, of course, the Fountain of Life extract, Norwegian spruce tree extract combo with the olive oil, which is super hydrating, and the argan oil combination, that made a big difference. Next morning, he was good as new. I had another girlfriend of mine who I've given the product to as well. Well, she's a partner, I call her a girlfriend. And basically had a burn on her hand, on her arm actually, from cooking. Oil had sprayed on her arm after applying FOL without it blistering. She was keeping it hydrated because there was a lot of tingling and there was a lot of, the skin was super dry from not the blister, because she used FOL up right away on it. It wasn't blistering, but by using this, it super hydrated her skin. There's no scars on her hand from the burn marks as well. So already, without even the product being out, it's giving it such a good revitalization. I know that many of you have been asking us, you know, when, and I apologize, we went a little bit late. I just wanted to make sure we covered all the formalities and we covered all the slides. And the reality of it is that as amazing as these products are, I promise you that it will be out this summer. What I can tell you is we are at the last components of our raw materials. Like I just said, our microsilver just arrived to Canada. And so we are at the final phase of the formulation's done. We're at the final phase of bottling and getting it done. But what I will promise you is that we will do an introductory offer for our loyal customers like you that want to grab it, and we'll make it first dibs for you guys. So we're really, really excited. But what I wanted to tell you is that it's on its way, it's coming. It's just around the corner. No, you don't have to wait for fall. It's probably going to be summer. So in the next couple of months, it's going to be released in your hands, in your bathrooms, in your bedrooms, in your homes that you could use. What's also really amazing about this product is that you could use it on your children. It's children friendly. There's absolutely no toxins. And I'm super, super excited for this, Carl, David. You know, I think this is going to be a big game changer, much the same like Fountain of Life came in, hit the ground running, toothpaste came in, hit the ground running, Microsilver came, hit the ground running. I think this is going to be a game changer. Like David said, you know, for people who have diabetes, when they apply it on their feet, it's going to make a big difference. That Microsilver, the fact that this is you know, an amazing product. A lot of bacteria builds up on the feet. I know for myself, when I take a shower at night and I go to bed, I love to be able to moisturize my body. I moisturize my body now from head to toe from this amazing product. It doesn't feel sticky. It doesn't feel greasy. It doesn't feel, you know, nasty. It's got a beautiful coconut breeze smell. So it's very Caribbean, very tropical. It's very gorgeous. You can literally use it from your neck down on your body, anywhere. Remember, external, nothing internal. Don't go crazy trying to think, you know, you can apply this anywhere. So there is just so much that we can do on your knees, on your elbows. You can basically rub it in where you have lots of, you know, rigid skin. And of course, around your cuticles. That's another thing as well I've been doing. You know, every night when I go to bed after I moisturize my body, I'm actually, you know, hydrating all my cuticles. I'm rubbing them in. So gentlemen, I am super excited for what is to come. I was hoping we were able to release some of the dates tonight, but you know what? It is coming. It is coming, and it's coming a lot faster than you think. I just want to make sure I'm very accurate with my words. I want to under deliver and over, you know, I want to basically over promise and under deliver. I rather do the reverse. At this time, I want to thank Carl and thank David for being on the call. It's great to, of course, have you, both of you gentlemen, so much knowledge under one roof in one night. And I want to thank all of our partners. I know we went late. I'm still going to answer a couple of quick questions, but I did want to take this time to, of course, thank our special guest speaker, Carl, for being on. I think it would be fantastic if we can have you on even, you know, once every 45 days to just bring your knowledge. We love listening to you. We love your education. And of course, it's always a pleasure to have David on, such a wealth of knowledge as well. And I hope everyone that was on tonight, you know, really enjoyed the call. And yes, it's basically a coconut breeze scent and smell. It's not overpowering. It's just enough to give it a beautiful scent. Yes, it's just going to be amazing. You're going to feel like you're in the tropics, since we can't go to the tropics right now thanks to COVID. But it's going to hydrate. It's going to give you lots of love. The other question I have for Carl is the Microsilver spray, can it be sprayed on hair if someone is going to the grocery store or going out or something like that?
Yeah, you could spray it on hair. You know, I guess it'll keep your hair a little bit disinfected. I've never thought about that, but there's nothing wrong with spraying it on the hair. It's not going to increase volume or do anything, increase shine or anything like that, but I don't see anything wrong with spraying it on your hair.
You know, I actually do a lot of times actually when, okay, a little trick for the ladies, when you cook and your hair smells like food and you have to go to work and you don't want to smell like you've been cooking, spray it on your clothes, spray it on your hair. It actually does take it away. I've actually done it myself, and pretty good, right? And the other question as well is, up to what age, you know, is this safe enough for babies or teenagers for them to be, you know, having this product around them as well for spraying it on their products, for example, baby clothes or, you know, teenagers' shoes or clothes and stuff like that?
Yeah, all age ranges. There's no restriction there. You can use it on babies' beds, mattresses, blankets, clothing. No restriction. Great in teenager shoes, I would imagine, and anything like hockey equipment or football equipment or baseball equipment. Definitely good on that. Spray before and after. So,
you know what I always think, Carl and David. You know those TV shows where you're going into an operating room and they go. You know, they have those sprays that come down from the top. It's like we should create little chambers for teenagers coming into the house and saying, "All right, Microsilver spray, ready?" Yeah. You know, kind of spraying them.
They need it.
Yeah, the teenagers definitely do need it for sure.
Well, there's not enough silver in the world to cure a teenager from their
I I've got a 16-year-old son and a 13-year-old daughter, so I know.
Yeah.
You know.
They have that unusual smell that nothing kills, you know, so.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, another thing as well that I did use it on the weekend today. So I have a little bit of OCD cleaning. And so my backyard also, I know little chipmunks and little squirrels and all these kind of little guys come around, and maybe raccoons, I don't even know. So one of the things I started to do is I actually left one just right outside inside the house for the patio furniture. And I started to also spray down my patio furniture as well. So if you do have furniture outside and it does, you know, rain, sometimes we don't take out our pillows from outside. We don't know what animals kind of sat on there. It's also a great idea to start spraying your outdoor furniture to get rid of any existing bacteria as well. So there's just so much you can do with these products. Be creative. Don't be afraid. Just go out, explore, go share with people how amazing these products are. Go share. There's so many people that are looking for a safe alternative to the toxic chemicals that are out in the market. You can make a difference as well. And of course, you know, change someone's health and wealth with these amazing products in our revolutionary business. So with that, Carl, David, we've gone way over. I apologize, we've run late. There's just so much to cover and I can go on for like hours with you gentlemen. But with that, I want to just say a big thank you to Carl. A big Carl, of course, a big thank you to David as well. We hope that every single one of you have enjoyed tonight's call. We hope that all of you have just been inspired by how amazing our products are. We don't talk about it enough, but we do on this training. And now it's your job to go out there and to share with the world. One thing I will tell you that we are going to be creating is we're going to be creating lots of new promotional marketing material for you in video platform. So you're going to be able to send it to your customers. These are going to be easy segment videos that we are working on behind the scenes to be able to give you marketing tools for you to go out there and to share. With that, Carl, David, thank you so much for an amazing call. Naima, thank you for hosting, and to everyone on this call, I want to thank you for your time and your patience this evening. With that, I want to wish you all a good morning, a good evening, a good afternoon, wherever you are. Take care, ladies and gentlemen. See you all next week. Same channel, same fabulous people. Oh, missing Carl.
Thank you. Thanks, Naima.
Yeah. Thank you very much, everyone. Pleasure speaking with you tonight. Thank you, Sanaz, for organizing this. And again, have a great day or evening to everyone. Thank you very much.
Amazing. Good night, everyone. Don't forget our forensic.
Thank you.
Thank you, David.
Good night.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, don't forget about our forensic call happening tomorrow night, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with our founder and CEO. And with that, I wish you all a blessed evening or morning, wherever you are. Take care, everyone. Good night.
Thank you.
Bye-bye, Carl. Thank you so much.
Bye-bye, Sanaz.